What's up, Infected? I got an unboxing for you here. And this is, as you can see here, the everlasting wet palette. Now, if you don't know what a wet palette is, this is a wet palette. This is what I've been using, and this is for painting miniatures. Now, really, like, this thing's gone through the ringers. It's a bit dirty. I didn't wash it out that well a couple times, so now it's like stained. But basically what it is you get this weird spongy thing. You put it in here. You're going to put water in this. This is going to absorb and basically expand to the width of the bottom of this tray. And then you're going to put usually special designed paper over it. Or in my case, you can also use parchment paper. It doesn't work as well, but it works pretty good. And you'll put parchment paper over that. And that's where you're going to put your paints. So this is your palette. And the reason for that is that way your paints don't dry out. Like, I've used this same paints on a wet palette for like a week. Like just a couple dabs of paint, and they've sat there for a week. You could take this, close it. It generally closes pretty airtight, and then you put this. Of course, you don't want to tilt it, but you would put this. You could put this in like the fridge, and it'll last weeks. Wet palettes are outstanding. They've saved me so much money in paint just that dries out. So I kickstarted this, and it doesn't look like I should have gotten the extra little thing over here, but it doesn't look like it's in here, so I may have to contact them, but we'll see. So yeah, I'm super stoked for this. I need to finish painting Blood Rage, and I haven't been in the mood to paint, and I'm wondering if this will get me back in the mood. So, okay, yeah, it's right there. Sweet. So, fancy, there's nothing else in that box. Ooh. I've been super stoked for this. And this comes with special paper and all that stuff. And really, it's an improvement over this. This one's just a cheap piece of junk. But with that said, this has been really good. So if you can't afford a not really nice one like this or anything, this will do just fine. I've been using this for 4-5 years now, something like that. Fantastic little thing. So this one is, let's see, how do you open it? It seems fairly hard to open, actually. I'm hoping that's just like a first time thing. Well, let's see what else is in here, and we'll struggle with that. Then you have this. What is this? Okay, so it's just something to keep the lid on, which so far it doesn't seem like that's going to be a problem. It just keeps the lid on, so while you're traveling, of course you don't want paints in this while you're traveling, but then we have the hydration paper sheets. So these ones are designed for this, so it'll allow the transfer of water and paint to keep it moist and everything. Moist. The one problem that, especially if you're using this and parchment paper that you may have with a wet palette, is the spare sponges. Nice. Is sometimes the paints will absorb too much water. Will make it through, like this one here, if you use parchment paper, and it'll start to really dilute your paints. So then we have more paper sheets, so it's 100 sheets, which is really nice. And this is actually the thing that I was the most excited about, to be honest, because, you know, I have a wet palette, so I didn't really need to buy a new one. I wanted to, but this is to hold inks and oils and stuff, which is super useful, because you can mix paints in a wet palette, which, you know, works just fine. But this is just, it's quality of life thing, where this just sits just like this. You do your painting, it's right here, so, you know, I'm frequently moving this around because I have little dabs of paint and all over places. So if I'm sitting here painting, I may have to like move this way and do this, so this allows me to magnetize it where I need. This moves with it. I also hurl my controller to the floor. So that is super nice. Now, let's see if we can get this open. Am I missing something? Is there some way that this is supposed to, like, open? No, not... There we go. Alright, so this is the inside. It's not as deep as this one, my old one is, either. That's good. And that is definitely more airtight, so that means the paints will last longer. It's got a rubber seal that goes all the way around it. And it's also as you as you can hear down there. So how do I open this? There's also moisture in this. I don't know if that's maybe testing it or... Yeah, no, that is definitely moist. Huh. Long lasting, naturally mold resistant, whole 9 yards. But yeah, so this is going to go in it like this. Let's... My cat is freaking out. Well, my wife's cat is. I'm pretty confident my cats know when I'm recording because that's when they wait to wait to meow. Oh, it smells weird. But I'm wondering if they had moistened them so they were for like quality assurance, just make sure they actually hold moisture. Because yeah, that is definitely holding some moisture. I don't like that it's got the logo here. That's definitely gonna have to go down like this. But yeah, ooh, that's weird. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause the video here because there's room all around the outside, which I mean I guess isn't that big of a deal. But I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna put some water on this. Alright, so I've put water in this to where it looks like it's absorbed everything. I'm not sure why there's still light spots here, like it's not hasn't absorbed fully or something, because when I poke it, it goes dark. So I'm not really sure. It might just be because it's brand new. I don't really know. But this does seem to hold an impressive amount of water, because when you pull this up, if I squeeze it out here, it actually holds a decent bit of water. So it's pretty good. And as you see here, I just squeezed it and I just kind of crumpled it in a ball, and it didn't seem to wrinkle any part of it. Like this looks like it's wrinkled, but it's really not. And then you could slap this back in here, and boom, so I think it is because it's brand new. But yeah, now boom, it's just fine. And I'm not going to, purely because I don't know when I'm going to be able to have time to paint. But I probably have a little bit too much water in this right now. But you would take one of these sheets here, you'll put it over it. If these work the same way like the other ones work with my old one, sorry I kicked the camera, you would put it on, and then it's gonna curl at the edges and try to meet in the middle. So you'll take it, pull it out, put it over. I'm terrible at pulling out. Dismount gain's terrible. You'll flip it back over, let it straighten out, and then flip it back over again. That way it gets fully moistened on both sides and it stops the curling. I don't know if this paper does that or not, but so far I'm very much liking this because you can. Let's see how waterproof it is. I don't have a towel standing by, so my wife might beat me up if this starts getting water everywhere. So we'll take this, and it is not too waterproof, as you can see. So water does still get out of it, but that was fairly slow rate that it's dripping, so I feel it's definitely going to be more waterproof, or more airproof than airtight, I guess, than this is. This is just plastic on plastic. So that is my unboxing for the Everlasting Wet Palette, and I guess a little bit of a review, I guess. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm super excited to get this to the table to paint. I'll see you guys next time in the quarantine.